Hey guys, Jason here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the video. Today we've got the Kraton EXB out. What I'm doing that's a little bit different than my usual videos with this truck is I'm not going to be bashing it off the big ramp. Well, my bigger ramp, because I've got that little teeny tiny one set up out there. The reason is that's broken. If you didn't watch the video of the X-maxx pretty much just destroyed it. There's broken 2x4s, you name it. It's got to be basically completely redone. But the other reason is, you know what, since I've owned this truck, guys, I've never ever driven it casual. I've never just ripped it around as a general basher. I've never just, you know, ripped it and enjoyed it and driven it. It's always been high fly jumping. That's it. That's the only thing I've ever done with this truck since I've owned it. So today is just going to be a general bash, go out and have some fun. I am going to try to take it off, like I said, that little ramp. I kind of positioned it on the hill to hopefully add a little bit of air to it, but you know what, at this point now, guys, I have no idea what kind of footage I'm gonna get, but we're gonna go out and we're gonna run. First thing, guys, I've noticed is this is the first time I've run the Badlands MX38s on this truck. These are the non-belted ones, and there is just crazy traction with these things. Because I'm like barely into the throttle, and this thing just wants to wheelie like there's no tomorrow. Plus, guys, I've mentioned this before in videos. I've done nothing to this truck. So the diffs are stock. I haven't even pulled them apart yet or anything like that. Let's see what happens if we take it off the ramp. Kind of get in. This is pretty tiny ramp, as you can see. I feel like my steering is not very good right now for some reason. This ramp barely fits the EXB. It's not very wide. I think my other one's not very wide, and this one is definitely not wide. Probably would be fun for something like the Slash or a Haas or something, but it's really hard to line this truck up with it. So to kind of get any speed and to get some air is not going to work out well. As you can see. Oh. Yeah, that's definitely not working out. Yeah, I'm not even gonna waste my time, guys, with that. Whoa. I don't know if it's the punch I have it at right now, but man, this thing's insane. I'm trying to get like into some top speed right now, and I just can't do it. Take it from way down here. Come on. And we're just gonna wheelie. We're just gonna wheelie. Wow. Definitely must be my punch. And I don't think I brought my program card, and I don't feel like, not that it's too much of a pain in the butt to adjust the punch on the ESC without the card, but I just don't feel like doing that. But having these tires on this thing, because I have driven this guy in grass over there a couple times when I've been out with the ramp on the stock tires, it's not like this at all, but I can't even like I can't come up to that hill right now and give it like a blip of throttle just to get some air like I usually do without it just wheeling. Yeah, I can't do anything. Like it's just going. Jeez. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come out here into the middle and see if I can just get the throttle down once. Even though there's a good dip there. Okay, wheelie. And full throttle. And wheelie. Jeez. You know, it's funny, these tires do balloon. I haven't vented them or anything like that yet. I seem to never vent my tires because I always forget. So I come out, I run around, I enjoy the truck, think, okay, I gotta go home and vent these tires, and then I get home and I completely forget all about it. Oh. What a monster. So if this is the first video you guys have watched of my Kraton EXB, I'm running a Max 6. 1730 kV, I think it's a Hobby Star motor, running the 19 tooth pinion, and I don't remember what my punch is. Hopefully I remember at the end of this video. I will plug in my card and I will check it out. But I cannot keep that front end down. What a fun. You know, it's funny, if you guys watch my last video, I kind of did a bit of a tour of the hobby shop, and I'm, you know, sort of getting ready for a kind of my top 5 RCs. And that's one of the reasons I'm out here today with this truck. I wanted to give this thing, like I mentioned, guys, right off the bat, just a general run. I wanted to come out and not do the high fly jumps or anything like that. I did plan on doing some jumps, but just see what it's like as a truck. Just a general bashing, you know, if you came out here with a slash 4x4, whatever, what it's like. And running this combo, and now remember guys, this is a kit, like it's a roller, so it's, you know, you can say it's kind of stock because you're able to choose whatever electronics you want into it. So, you know, to sit there and say a Kraton EXB stock would be, well, a roller. I do know that they came out with the Outcast and the Italian. Look at that, we just ripping along, just wheeling. And I think those are running the 2050 kV combo. But this thing now, guys, is, well, I shouldn't say now, it's always been an animal. And with these tires, there's just so much grip. The stock tires kind of gave a little bit. They'd slide, they'd slip, they'd spin. But these things don't. And because they're not belted, and this is where a lot of people get it wrong, because I often see people are always like, oh, I need belted, I need belted, I need belted. They kind of conform a little bit more because they balloon. So it makes it, you know, if you're doing like backflips and stuff like that, they perform awesome for doing stuff like that. But even just out here today, they're hooking up so well. And I don't actually find that it's making it unstable or anything like that. The only thing, the truck itself just, it only wants to wheelie. Let's get out there and see what happens. Whee! It's nice, they've got, everything's cut. I think it was cut last weekend, but they may have been out. They may have given it another cut just because school starts in a couple of days, so. Let's see what happens here. Three-quarters, still wheeling. What a beast. Whoop. It's Jeez. It's so fast. And I don't know if it's like just that rear differential. Oh, I think our battery connector came off. Let's go check it out. Well, I think maybe one of my motor wires, because I can still hear the fan. Let's see what's going on here. No. Oh, did we go thermal? Ooh. I think we did. Wow, that is hot, guys. Holy moly. So I have dropped, hopefully this is in camera right now. I had dropped this truck, guys, to a 19 tooth. And just because the first time I ever had it out on the 20 tooth pinion, I did find that it was getting a little bit warm. It is not hot today. I know you guys obviously can't tell from looking around, but it's only about 15 degrees Celsius, but it's hot. ESC not as bad, but the motor is stupid hot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let it sit here for a bit. I'm gonna let it kind of cool down, but I don't know, this run might not go as long as I thought it was going to. Again, the ESC's, I mean, I'm thinking the ESC went thermal. Fan's going crazy. I may need to, I don't know, maybe gear down a little bit. And since speed is not an issue whatsoever, I don't see that being a thing.
I just want to see something right now. Okay, I just want to make sure you guys are actually looking at the truck.
But yeah, it's, motor is crazy hot. It's not liking the 19 tooth pinion. It's not liking something I've done, whether it's the punch, I don't know. All right, guys, I've been sitting out here for about, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or so. I just took a few pictures. You'll see those at the end of the video. There's a plane going overhead. Sorry about that. Can't control them. But it definitely, guys, was very hot. Now, obviously, I've let it sit for about 5 minutes. Everything now is kind of cooled down. What we're going to do is we're going to power it back up. And yeah, we're good to go again. So, you know what? I'm not going to go all crazy and say, you know, oh, I need to change everything right now, because let's face it, the running I was doing was pretty hardcore. It, you know, when you're just doing like wide open throttle kind of passes, it does take its toll on the truck. I've had that with other vehicles, and you know, I've had this thing out so many times, jumping it, doing what I do with this truck. So the kind of bashing and the general driving that I do with this truck, that I don't know if I'm going to be changing the setup, like the pinion and all that stuff. The only thing I'm considering is maybe, because, you know, I usually don't do a whole lot with fans. I always kind of feel like if you've got half decent cooling on a truck, you should be good to go. But I may change things up just a little bit, because I do feel like the 19 tooth, the 1730 kV is a pretty good setup. So just to add a bit more cooling, maybe a little bit more cooling power, would fix the issue on this vehicle, because it did run, guys, for kind of a long time before I had this problem. So it's not like I came out and, you know, was 2 minutes into a run and it was going thermal. So anyways, what we're going to do is, well, we're going to keep going. We're going to run it a little bit longer. All right, guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to try to find a spot where, you know, there's a hill, and just have a little bit more fun with the truck. Probably stop the wide open throttle kind of passes, even though it's really hard to do because this thing is just flying. You know, I don't know if it's just me, but I swear this motor sounds different now. But it could just be me. Oh my God. And since it's a Kraton, and since it's the Kraton EXB, that was no big deal. You know, it's funny today, guys, it's about like 15 or 16 degrees Celsius. It's basically like I was able to leave the house in a t-shirt and not a sweatshirt, but just. So I'm surprised that heat became an issue today. And again, guys, like I said, I've had this truck out a lot with this setup and never had, well, except for the tires. Let's face it, the tires are the only thing else that I've changed, and they would have added a little bit of weight, but I didn't think anything that would really affect it that much before people kind of go off and you know, say a whole bunch of stuff. I understand what tires do. I understand weight. I understand unsprung weight, but I've never had an issue with the heat with this truck, with the temps, so I'm kind of surprised. No, there we go. Seriously, what an animal. Anyways, guys, what we're gonna do is we are gonna head back to the truck. You know what, I don't want to destroy this motor. All right, guys, we got the truck back home. I've already cleaned it up. I've already rinsed off the body, all that kind of fun stuff. And well, that run did not go as planned. Obviously, the temp issue was kind of a bummer. You know, I've mentioned, guys, during the video that I've driven this truck many times, and I always do the same thing. So I'm on the pavement, I hit the ramp, I jump, I land, and I do that over and over and over and over. And I've never had a temp issue. I've brought the truck back on the tailgate when I've been running it. You know, I'd feel the motor, everything would be fine. Wide open throttle passes like I was doing today, are trying to get wide open throttle passes. You obviously guys saw all the wheelies and stuff like that. That can be pretty hard on a truck, and I know that it does bring up the temps. So I think I mentioned a couple of times that I wasn't going to do anything with the gearing, but you know what? I think I've decided I'm going to drop a couple more teeth, because I want this thing to be more than just a high-flying jump truck. You know, it's such an amazing machine. It handles amazing. You know, you do a couple of flips, a couple of, you know, kind of rolls where other vehicles, you know, would have broke. This is not the case with this thing. It's an amazing rig. And I know I keep saying the same thing over and over again, guys, but it really is. So what I'm probably going to do is, like I said, change up the pinion a little bit, maybe go with a better set of fans, and possibly even, guys, replace this one. You know, I feel like it was only a couple of videos ago where I talked about the fact that, you know, if you get your gearing right and your truck's all good to go, that, you know, you shouldn't need to go to a hardcore fan. But you know what? Hey, maybe I'm going to eat my own words there. I don't know, because I do really like the truck the way it is right now. So I would like to keep this setup, but I also want to be able to run it and not have to worry about the temps, and as well as get my wheeling under control, because yeah, usually I can rip around that field and, you know, kind of launch it at the little hill and, you know, do a little jump, get some air, and I couldn't do that today. It just wanted to keep wheeling. I never even got a full throttle pass out of it at all, like not even close. So yeah, I've got a little bit of work to do with it now that I've gotten away from just jumping it, oddly enough. These tires are insane. I've actually always loved these tires. These are the non-belted ones, like I mentioned. Proline MX38 Badlands. I ran these on my LST3 XLE, and I loved them. And, you know, for jumping and flips and stuff, they're super responsive. And again, because they're not belted, they will balloon a little bit, which helps with your backflips and all that stuff. So anyways, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, please subscribe, and yeah, there's a couple of pics.